Welcome to One Chapter, One Thought. I'm Pastor Chris from Lincroft Bible Church in New Jersey, and every weekday I read one chapter of the New Testament and offer one brief devotional thought. Today's reading is from the book of Hebrews, chapter 4. Therefore, while the promise of entering God's rest still stands, let us fear lest any of you should seem to have failed to reach it. For the good news came to us, just as it came to them. But the message they heard did not benefit them, because they were not united by faith with those who listened. For we who have believed enter that rest. As he has said, "As I swore in my wrath, they shall not enter my rest." Although his works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he has somewhere spoken of the seventh day in this way, and God rested on the seventh day from all his works. And again in this passage he said, "They shall not enter my rest." Since therefore it remains for some to enter it, and those who formerly received the good news failed to enter because of disobedience, again he appoints a certain day, today, saying through David so long afterward, in the words already quoted, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts." For if Joshua had given them rest, God would not have spoken of another day later on. So then, there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For whoever has entered God's rest has also rested from his works as God did from his. Let us therefore strive to enter that rest, so that no one may fall by the same sort of disobedience. For the word of God is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing the division of soul and spirit, joints and marrow, discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart. And no creature is hidden from its sight, but all are naked and exposed to the eye of him to whom we must give an account. Since then we have a great high priest who passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. One thought. The author of Hebrews repeatedly exhorts his audience to hold fast to their faith. With so many things being able to lure us away from Christ, we need to be diligent to stay grounded in our faith. But we can also be prone to discouragement because we all still mess up and fail. We all still have residual sin in our lives as believers, and so it can be quite discouraging when we want to love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and we just find ourselves unable to do so. So the author throughout this book regularly provides assurance to his readers by pointing them back to Jesus. And he does so explicitly here in verses 14 through 16. He says, first of all, look to Jesus because he is powerful. It says we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Believers can stay in the faith. We can hold fast to our faith because Jesus, he has ascended. He has passed through the heavens. And that means after his resurrection, he went bodily back up to be with God, and he now is interceding for us. He's literally praying for you right now before the Father. And he is guiding us and guarding us, and he's strong enough to keep us in the faith. And we also see, though, not only is he strong, but he's compassionate. It says in verse 15, we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, or to put it positively, we have a high priest who is able to sympathize with our weaknesses. Isn't that amazing? That the creator God of the universe that became incarnate in human flesh can sympathize with you, and can sympathize with you about your weaknesses. Jesus was tempted just like we are. So those temptations you face, Jesus faced them as well, and yet he never sinned. So he knows what you're going through. He knows the battles that you have to face with sin. He knows the pull and power of temptation, but he never gave in to it. So he can show us great compassion because he knows us. And so don't feel despair when you are tempted, but look to Christ instead, the compassionate one. Because Jesus is so great, because he is so gracious, we can draw near to God with confidence. Even when the path is filled with trials and temptations and doubts, we can be assured that we will make it, and Jesus is walking with us.